Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make homemade carrot cake. So stay tuned and I'll show you how it's done. Hi, welcome back. This is Rachel with Blessed Beyond Measure, and today we're going to be making homemade carrot cake. I don't know about you, but when I think about Easter holiday and I think about the desserts, carrot cake is always at the top of that list. And this is not something that should be intimidating at all. I would say probably the hardest part of the whole cake is shredding your carrots. And that's really not hard at all. I don't even get out my food processor. I just use my little hand grater here and I use the fine setting. Just takes a few minutes, but it makes it totally worth it. So let's go over some of the ingredients. We have some flour, we have our grated carrot, we have crushed pineapple, some coconut, I have some salt, baking soda, cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, I have buttermilk and eggs, which I have at room temperature, some sugar, oil, vanilla extract, and I have some toasted walnuts. So let me get my area set up and I'll meet you right back and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get our dry ingredients together. And I'll have in the description a list of all the measurements, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with it right now. So in here I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and then just a little pinch of ground cloves. Okay, and then I have my baking soda and my salt. Give this a little mix. We'll set this aside, and now we're going to work on the wet ingredients. Okay, so we have 2 cups of sugar, 3 eggs at room temperature, 3/4 a cup of room temperature buttermilk, okay, and we're going to add 3/4 a cup of oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, okay, so we'll give this a mix just to get it incorporated, and then we'll start adding our dry ingredients. Okay, so I'll put it on low, and I'll slowly start adding in the dry. And you don't want to overbeat this batter, you just want to get it until it's just combined so you don't have a tough cake. Okay, that looks good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold in our carrots, our pineapple, and our walnuts. Two cups of our carrots. I have half a cup of sweetened coconut flakes. And then this was an 8-ounce can of the crushed pineapple, and I did drain it. And then we're going to add 1 cup of our toasted walnuts. And what I did with this is I put it in the oven on 350 for about 7 to 8 minutes, and it just toasted. Basically, when you start to smell the nut, then you know that it's toasted. Okay, we'll give this a mix. It smells good already. This carrot cake is one of my sister's favorite cakes. I know she's going to be expecting a piece of it. I always make this carrot cake at Easter, and then for her birthday in May, I make her a hummingbird cake, which is kind of similar, but it has bananas in it. It's really good too. We'll have to do that one too. Okay, clear this off. I did go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and I have 3 9-inch pans that I did spray with some nonstick spray that had a little bit of flour in it, so it helps it release. And we're just going to basically evenly distribute this cake batter into each pan. Look like I have a little bit more in this one, so I'm just going to take a little bit out. So you want to try to get it as even as possible. And what I like to do is once you fill in a cake pan, if you'll bang it on the counter a few times, it helps to release the air bubbles out of it. Okay, so I'll get these popped in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. And in the meantime, while that's cooking, we'll go ahead and make our cream cheese icing. So I'll see you back in just a few minutes. Okay, let's make our cream cheese icing. What I have in here is 2 sticks of unsalted butter and 2 8-ounce bricks of cream cheese, and they're both at room temperature. So what I'm going to do is get these mixed up, and I want it to be light and fluffy. So let's get this going. It's just going to take a few minutes. That cake smells so good already. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So I have a tablespoon here, which is 3 teaspoons, and 1 teaspoon. We'll give that a little bit of a mix, and then we're going to start adding our powdered sugar. And in here I have 6 cups of sifted powdered sugar. So let me get this going. I'm going to put the mixer on low and start adding in the powdered sugar. You're not having fun if you're not making a mess. All right, let me give it a scrape down. All right. It's done, simple as that. So let me get this cleaned up, and I have about 10 minutes left on the cakes, and we'll get them out and I'll have them cooling at room temperature. And once they're completely cooled, then we'll ice the cake. Okay guys, so my cakes baked for 28 minutes in my oven. I let them cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then I turned them out onto this wire rack, and they've been cooling for about an hour. So now it's time to go ahead and get this cake iced. So what I did is I've went ahead and put one layer down, and we're going to put our cream cheese in between each layer. You don't really want to put a whole lot in between each layer because cream cheese can be a little bit vulnerable when it's not refrigerated. So if you put a whole lot, it's going to kind of be sliding all over. So I like to do just a little thin layer in between. Maybe just a little more. All right. Put our top layer on. And I always like to start at the top, put a lot of icing on the top and try to get it spread thin, and then I'll work on the sides after that. Hope y'all are having a good day today. It turned out to be a pretty day. I think spring is my most favorite season of the year. I'm not really a winter person. I don't like a lot of cold, and I think it's just perfect when spring, everything is fresh and new, the flowers are starting to bloom. And of course Easter is my favorite because this is when we celebrate what Jesus did for us on the cross. He died for our sins, mine and yours. Okay. Now you can get as fancy as you want with this. You can just cover it with the icing and leave it at that. But we're not going to do that today. I have a little bit of these extra walnuts here. This is about a cup, I guess. And I'm going to line the bottom of the cake with the extra walnuts. And then we'll put a little decoration on the top. You don't have to worry about getting your sides very smooth if you put something like this along the sides. So it doesn't have to be intimidating. And what I like to do also is I took a little bit of this Americolor. I took the orange color because I'm going to make a carrot design on the top, and then I have a little bit of green. Now I know a lot of people don't always have cake decorating tools, but you can also just use like a Ziploc bag, and that's what I'm going to show you with this one here. But on this one I do have a piping tip. We're going to make just a little carrot on the top. So in this one is just the Ziploc bag, and we're going to clip the end of it. Grab my scissors. Just want to make a really small hole. Okay. And then I have a little bit of the icing left over. I think I'll go ahead and make a little design around the border at the top. But like I said, you don't have to do any of this. You can just ice the cake. You don't even have to put the walnuts on the bottom of it. It's just you do it however you feel comfortable doing it. I just happen to love doing cakes and baking and stuff, so it's no problem over here. It's just as easy as that, guys. This cake turned out so beautiful. Like I said, you can make it as easy or as complicated as you like. Get a little bit of this excess walnut off, and I'll bring you in closer so you can see what it looks like. Didn't that turn out so pretty? All right, I'm going to get this area cleaned up, and then we're going to cut into it and give it a taste. Okay guys, it's time for my favorite part. Let's cut into this cake and give it a try. And this cake is usually best once you've let it set in the fridge overnight. It just kind of lets all the flavors meld together, and the cream cheese gets set. You can tell it's kind of trying to fall apart a little bit. It's because the cream cheese is loose. Let's give it a taste. That is so good. My sister's gonna love me for this. Oh gosh. You guys give this a try. Like I said, this is the perfect dessert to put on your Easter table or just any time of the year. You don't have to have a special occasion to make this cake. I hope you guys will like and subscribe if you like my video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter. I'll see you next time.